Hi everyone! This is the newest dress that I'll be making with you this time. It's a little Easter dress, and I had in mind for like little newborn pictures for a little girl. The supplies you will need is Brene Softy baby yarn in light yellow, and this is 1 skein or about 5 ounces. And any soft yarn will do, 100% acrylic if you can't find this brand. And then this second alternate yarn, the complementary, is the Brene Happy yarn. And it's just a nice fuzzy yarn if you can't find this one. Just a fuzzy yarn that matches your first color. And then I also put some beads along here, which I go into the video, that if you're worried about choking hazard for your little girl, then don't put those on there. But since this is a newborn dress, size 0 to 3 months, I didn't think there was a problem with the choking hazard, but if you're worried at all, just leave them off. So the care for this dress is really easy. It is washable on gentle cycle with cold water, and you would put it in the dryer after that for about 15 minutes with a fabric softener sheet just to soften it up. And then after that you would lay it flat to dry, and so it's really easy care. And this level of dress is just for beginners, so everybody can try to do this dress. It's super easy, so come along with me as I show you how to do it. Okay, before we start, I just want to say a few words about sizing. For this size that we'll be making, it's a newborn size, or up to 6 months depending on how big your child is. So we're going to start with a chain 33. If you want to pause the video here and do a little printout of your pattern, that would work too. There's for the 12-month size. And this will make more sense once we get into the tutorial, but just so you have this for reference, this is the 18-month size, and this is about a 2T size, depending on how big your child is. Whenever you're sizing these things, make sure that you do 2 or 3 rows first and fit it to your child. These sizes are just guidelines, and I would hate for you to make the whole dress and have it not fit. So make sure you're fitting it to your child as you go, or if you're making it for a grandchild that's not with you, make sure that you are taking measurements as you go and asking the little girl's mother what size she is, so that you don't do all this work for nothing. Okay, so let's get going making the newborn size. Okay, so for the foundation row, you will chain 33, and when you come to the end, you will skip the first stitch from your hook, and you will start with single crochets. And you will do 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way across. Okay, when you come to the end, you will take a single crochet in the very last stitch, and I'm going to make a straight edge. So from now on, whenever I say make a straight edge, this is how you will do it. You will chain 1 and turn your work and make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and that makes a nice square edge every time. So you've chained 1 and you've skipped the first stitch, and you will just continue on making single crochets for 12 rows. And I've already made our second piece. You're going to be making 2 of these. So this box piece right here is the piece that we're working on. We are doing 33, which turns out to be 32 single crochet with 12 rows straight on each edge, and then we will come back. Okay, so I've completed my 12 rows of single crochet. If you count the foundation row, then it's 13 rows, but I didn't count the foundation chain as a row. So here is 12 rows of single crochet, and this is where we are going to start making our armhole. And you can see it a little bit better on here. It's this section right here where it decreases once on each edge. And so to make a decrease, you just don't chain 1 on your edges. So I've done a single crochet in the last stitch right there, and in your second stitch from your hook, you will go in right there, and removing the chain 1 makes that sloped design on the edge. So you will do that for 7 rows. having one decrease on each edge. And once you have done 7 rows of single crochet that have a decrease on each side, then we will come back. I finished my 7 rows of single crochet with one decrease on each edge, and those are our little armholes right there. So now we're ready to start going up straight again and to start making the neck opening. So at the end of your 7th row on the left hand side, you will start to make a straight edge again, which means you chain 1, skip the first stitch and go into the second one. 1, 2, and do about 10 single crochets and then stop. Alright, after your 10 single crochets, this is where the neck opening will be. So we want the neck opening to be slightly curved this way, so we're going to be making decreases on this side. So when you turn your work, you won't do a chain 1. You will go into the next stitch from your hook, and you will just continue on with single crochet. And once you come to this edge, it will be a straight edge. I'll just finish up this row so I can show you. Make sure you take your last single crochet into the stitch. If you need to count to make sure that you're getting all 9 stitches, and remember it's 9 because you did your 1 decrease right here, and your next row will be 8 because you're doing another decrease. But just make sure that this row on this side is going to be straight. So you chain 1, and I'll show you one more decrease on the neck edge. So at the end, take your last single crochet right there, turn your work, second stitch from the hook, do a single crochet, carry on to the end and make a straight edge right there, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I've done the straight edge on the side like I told you to. So if you can see, I've done 3 rows of decreases. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm ready to start making the shoulder strap go straight on both sides. So at the end of, this is my 4th row now, because I've done my 3 rows of decreases on this side, straight edge on this side. So now I will chain 1, turn my work, second stitch from the hook, and continue on with single crochet, where I will be making straight edges on both sides. Now a little word about sizing here for your neck hole opening. How I figured to do 10 single crochet, I took my piece, I folded it in half, and I put a pin right in the middle, and then I opened it up, and I decided how big I wanted my opening to be. If you're making a 12-month size or a 2T or an 18, you're going to have a bigger opening. It will be, my opening is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is 7 stitches wide. For a 12-month, I would imagine it would be more like 9. And for an 18-month 2T, I would imagine it would be more like 11 stitch opening. But just fold it in half and make it the same on both sides. This isn't an exact science. We like to make things up and just try to make it up as you go along and eyeball it until the neck opening looks right to you. So for this strap, we are going to be doing 6 rows straight on each side, just like that. This little box. So we will come back once you've had those 6 rows made. Okay, now comes the part where you sew the 2 together. So you'll just sew the top of the straps and the side, and make sure you don't sew up into this armhole area. Make sure that you stop before you come to the 3 rows that you did. So on this side, you know those pieces of yarn, I just used those to sew it together. So if you need a longer piece than 4 or 5 inches, then just leave like 7 or 8 inches. It just makes it easier than having to attach a new piece of yarn. So right here I didn't leave a long enough piece of yarn, so I just cut probably a 10 or 12 inch piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it to this piece that I have hanging out right here. So just pull it up, and a square knot would be the right piece over the left piece and the left piece over the right piece. So right over left, left over right. And then every stitch I just went in and out, and you can either do it this way or a candy cane stitch, or you could even, you know, do a whip stitch, sew it on your sewing machine, it doesn't matter. Any way how you want to close up the seams is fine. But when you're done, go back with your yarn needle and pull it through on the inside and then cut it off so that the ends are hiding. And do the same with these ones that hang out. And I already did it with these. I already hid my ends with the yarn needle. So sew up all your edges and then come back. Alright, so after you have those sewed together, turn your little piece inside out. Sorry, right side out, so the seams are in the inside. And then you will take your yarn and you will attach it right here with a little knot, and then we'll come back. Alright, so after you've attached your yarn right here with just a simple knot, put your hook through and draw up a loop and chain 1, and that counts as your first single crochet. In the next stitch, make another single crochet, and then in the next stitch make another one. So we've done a total of 3, and on the 4th one, this is where we will be taking our increase. So you will make 2 single crochets into 1. And as you can see, I've been catching my end into my work so that I don't have to go back with a yarn needle. So if you can see what I've done 1, 2, 3, and then an increase, and that will be the pattern all the way around. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. 1, 2, and then do that all the way around. Now it doesn't matter if you end on your first, second, or third stitch, or if you end on an increase. It doesn't really matter, because from here on out we're going to be working in rounds. So as you can see, I took my last stitch on this row, and I'm going to take my next one on this chain 1 that we started with. And then this is where we will be making the foundation for our ruffle. This part of the skirt isn't going to show. So after you do that first stitch, chain 1, and that counts as your first double crochet. Chain 1, and then that counts as the bridge between our double crochets. Yarn over, skip 1, into the next one, do a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and make a double crochet. And this is the pattern that we will be repeating for, you need to figure how long you want your dress to be, and then minus about 3 inches off of that, and that's how many rounds you want to make of this foundation. So for now, let's start with about 20 rounds, and then we'll come back. So I wanted to show you this quickly before you move on to doing your rounds. At the edge, it doesn't matter if it's not an exact count, because it's never going to show. So just yarn over and continue your rounds just like that. And I've just been taking my double crochet in between the other two. It doesn't matter if you want to do it on top of the previous row's double crochet, it just really doesn't matter because this isn't going to show. So continue on with your rounds. So for this size, I ended up doing about 15 rounds of this grid. So for if you're making bigger sizes, you're going to want to add just as much length as you would like, but do it in multiples of 3. So this one had 15 rounds, and then it would go 18 and 21 and so forth. So now we're ready to start our ruffle at the end, and you can just pick up where you left off. No need to end this grid row. So you will start by making your double crochet clusters. So just start with a double crochet in the middle of your next grid hole, chain 1, double crochet, and you can hear my dog whining in the background. I apologize. Say hello, Harley. He wants to go outside. Hi. He's scared of the camera. Okay, so let's go back to our double crochet clusters. So we do double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and chain 1. And then we'll just continue on with this pattern. Oh, you'll have to wait a minute, Harley. He really wants to go outside. So I think I'm going to stop the video. You've got this round good. And then we will come back. Just do that all the way around. So I've made it all the way around with my little double crochet clusters. So now there's no need to start or end the row again. We'll just continue working in around. So on the top of the very first double crochet cluster you made, you will, well, you've chained 1 at the end of the last stitch that you did. Yarn over, and we're going to do a shell. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then that is your shell. So it's just 3 double crochets connected by chain 1s. So to make the next shell, you will chain 1, and in the middle of your double crochet clusters is where you're going to make your shell. And then you will just continue on like this all the way around until you come back to the beginning. So I finished my shells all the way around, and as you can see, this is my last double crochet cluster right here. And so when you get back to your first shell that you've made, you can just yarn over and start making your double crochets with your new color of yarn. And you will make one in between the spaces of your previous row. So as you can see, this yarn that I'm using is kind of fuzzy, so it makes a nice edging to your ruffles. And so when you get in between, you will take a double crochet in between as well. So you are making a double crochet here, here, and here, all the way around. So I've come all the way around with my edging yarn, and you can see I just have a couple stitches left. So what I'm going to do on these last couple, I'm going to make the row come down so it blends into this one so I can end the round. So instead of doing a double crochet, I'm going to do a single crochet right here, and then I'm going to do another single crochet, and then on the top of this first edging stitch that I did, I'm going to do just a pull through stitch, just a slip stitch right there, and then pull it through. And then you will take this piece, and you can either tie it in a knot, or you can just take a yarn needle and you will turn your work and weave it in and out of your work so that there's no ends sticking out. And then we'll come back. Okay, so now that we have our first ruffle done, I'll show you how you will go on to make all the other ruffles. So start by connecting a piece of yarn right here, and I just tied a little knot right on the top, and then I pulled the end into the inside. And then you can go back with your yarn needle and weave that end through. So you will take your yarn hook, and you'll pull up a loop. And you can just kind of hold it like this. Any way that you can to get around it is good. It takes a minute to get a good hold of it. So after you've pulled up a loop, do a single crochet, And then you are going to be doing your double crochet clusters just like you started on this one. You're going to be doing them in between your grids. So we're going to do our first one right here. So this chain 1 and then chain another one. This chain 2 will be our first double crochet. So chain 1 in between, just like you would of your other double crochet clusters. Yarn over, and then go with your hook in between your grid and just pull up a loop and make a double crochet. And you can kind of fold it down if you want, if that helps you. I'm going to fold mine down. So crochet 1, single crochet, yarn over, and this is going in between the next grid with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and chain 1. So you can see I'm hooking this so that it's standing up on top of my work. So go all the way around making your double crochet clusters, making them in between your grids right here, and then come back around. So I've come all the way around, and it's your preference if you want to work in a round or if you want to end the row. For this one I'm just going to end it. And this previous one I just worked in rounds, so I'm showing you 2 different ways to do this. So I'm going to end this by taking a slip stitch into, oh, that's the third one, excuse me. I need to take it into the second chain that you made and do a slip stitch, and that ends the round right there. So if you'll remember the other ruffle we made, it is a shell. So you will start with a double crochet, a chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, all made into the middle of your double crochet cluster right here. So chain 1, and then you will do the same thing. You will keep making your shells in between your clusters until you come back around. So when I've come back around, I took a slip stitch right here, right into your second chain that you did of your first shell, and I attached my my alternate color right here, and you will just chain 1 right here, yarn over, and you will start doing just as you did on our other ruffle that we made at the bottom of the dress. You would do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and you will keep making a double crochet into every space all the way around, just like we did on our other ruffle. Now this is what you will repeat. This ruffle, you will repeat it every 3 rows. So you will count down 3 of your grid right here, 1, 2, 3, and you'll just start it on the side just like you did for the first one. So you'll come over here and you will fold it down after the 3rd row, and then you will just start making your next ruffle right there, and then you'll count down 3, 1, 2, 3, make your next ruffle right there, and just continue until you get to the end, and you will make your last ruffle right here on this one, and then we will come back after you have your ruffles made. So after we finished our ruffles, we are ready to start to do the edge on the neckline. So what I did is I just tied a little piece onto the shoulder area, and you will draw up a loop. I always make my stitches too tight, and then do a single crochet. And you're going to be catching this end in your work as you go along. So just go into the next hole that you can see, catch your end into it, and make a single crochet. And you can just put your hook wherever you'd like. You can put it here or here. It depends on how tight you want your single crochet edging to be. So you will just go along the complete inside of the neckline with single crochets. When you come to this point, to the corner, I'll show you what to do in the corner. So in the corner, I don't want quite as much of a square look, so I'm going to do a double crochet in the corner, and that will just lift up the corner a little bit so that it'll be a little more round, like that. If you like the square look, then go ahead and just take a single crochet in the corner. And then just continue on making a double crochet in the very corner stitch if you would like, and then come all the way back to the beginning. This is the finished top part. I just did a simple edging around the sleeves, just like I did for the neckline. And I chose to do just a simple little bead work around, and I just took a needle and hooked it on with some white thread. And you can choose to leave that off, and I definitely would leave the beads off if you're making this for an older child, because it could be a choking hazard. With this newborn dress, they won't be able to pull it off or anything like that. But if you're worried about the choking hazard, just leave the beads off. You could choose to do an edging with your alternate yarn or anything like that. You can put a flutter sleeve on my channel. I have a tutorial for a flutter sleeve, and that would also be really cute. So the neckline and the sleeves are just up to you of how you'd like to finish them. So I hope you enjoyed making this cute little dress with me, and I think it would be perfect for a little newborn photo shoot, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.